Where's best me sharing from?
I got you juice. You want that?
Everything. Aye.
From Facebook or Facebook? I'm going to
Facebook.
share it mine.
Do you want that, can I just?
Is it spelled?
The man's an athlete. Dislocating your fucking hip. I don't. That's horrendous.
Much is growing too slow, and the strong get stronger at the broken places, and the weak get weaker as we spit in their faces. From that day on, the world would do your bidding, but the mark you left was like a chemical spillage, and the hate made a slash and a stain on my soul.
Live from the podcast rooms in Glasgow, it's all about the Gers with Ricki Neill, Derek Ferguson, and Charlie Miller.
Hello, how you doing? And welcome to All About the Gers. I want to say a big thank you to all of our sponsors: Giant Sea Architectural, Plugged In Business Solutions, ISG Resin Flooring Specialist, DB Dental Care, Crown Embroidery, and we've got two brand new sponsors. We've got Avia Signs and also Park Construction and Plant Hire. So thank you for joining us, our new sponsors.
Cheers, Guy, for paying Ricky Susaf.
So no, thanks. And I just realised that we were actually live on air just a couple of minutes before the intro started there, but luckily the microphone was switched off and then you never heard what Fergus was talking about. So we're all good. How you doing anyway, guys?
Very well. Yourself?
Good. How are we, Ricky?
I'm good, but I just realised I forgot to introduce our
He's sitting there. Come on.
Our special last minute guest, Craig Houston from Sons of South Academy.
Hi there.
How you doing?
Very well. I thought I was only delivering the pies.
He ate the pasta and pies.
Easy tiger.
Well, Craig came in to see the podcast rounds because he's thinking about potentially doing a podcast, which would be pretty good, I think, because you've met a few nasty people in your life, haven't you, as well?
Aye, my phone book's got about 6,000 contacts, and it goes for everything from chairman of Rangers to MPs and QCs or KCs as they're called now, to drug dealers and football hooligans. So could have quite a...
None of them ever answer them, but...
That's like me.
Could have quite a diverse range of guests.
Aye, so we'll come back to you in a wee minute because we're going to talk to you about your academy and your wee trip to Madrid. But how are you? I've not seen you for 2 weeks.
Mm-hmm.
How was your Monday club last week?
Very good. Very good, as Sir Alex Ferguson was saying.
Very good.
No, I didn't even get out till late because the granddaughter was over. So the granddaughter was over for early doors and made dinner, and then I went for a couple of pints. So good to see the granddaughter.
Easy. I know. And Derek, what about yourself?
Just very quiet, as per usual. You know,
10 bottles of red.
Just no. I'm keeping quiet, keeping my head down at the minute. So it's got to be done.
That's good. I'm afraid we're going to need to talk about the semi-final because obviously we missed last week's show.
That's how
so do you know what we'll do?
That's how we've been quiet.
I think we'll put Craig on the spot.
What semi-final are you talking about?
I'm not talking about semi-final. I'm talking about the league last.
See, you've got it. See, but you've just said there the day because I'm already thinking about it. You can't get it out your head.
No wonder you call him Mr. Potato Head.
I know.
There's nothing in there. I know. Right. So ignore what I just said there. Luckily, we can't even edit it because it goes out live.
You're in the semi-final on Saturday.
I know.
It's a Wayne's. It's under 13s.
They're playing my nephew's team, aren't they?
From Saturday playing on.
Aye. Right. So Craig, we're going to come back to you and just talk about the game against Celtic, league game against Celtic.
Thanks.
What was your thoughts on that?
I thought that it was a peculiar game that I felt Rangers starting 11 probably had 2 to 4 pass marks. And I might think 2, you're 3, you're at 4, but there'll certainly not be many more people thinking there was many more pass marks than 4 players out of the starting 11. When you take that into effect, you consider that we lost a goal that looked as if it was fine, and Celtic still didn't have that game won until the whistle went in the 95th minute. Celtic are a good if Celtic was as good as everybody tells me they are, they should have that game at the park. We was having 2 good starters and getting a perfectly good goal chopped off. So disappointed, obviously, as a bear losing to them, but when the game had no long finished and I started looking back at it, I thought, bring on the semi-final.
Who was the 2 players you were going to give pass marks to?
Well, I thought the goalie in the first half, particular, to be fair, the first 10-15 minutes, there was a couple of good saves. There were good goal scoring opportunities. And Raskin, I thought he was really good all over the park. But a buzz about the boy, he looked as if he was up for it. So they were mad too.
Charlie?
Well, I thought the boys had actually done okay. I thought as the first 10 minutes, you know, they're coming to you anyway. So the goals were terrible. I don't know why Davies. I'm not sure about Davies defensively. I really am. The boy O'Reilly actually takes a lucky touch. I don't think it means a touch, but it looks great. And then instead of Davies gone, I'm going to mark Kyogo here. He actually tries to mark an area. Areas or space doesn't score goals. So get the striker, get on him and mark him. Because Kyogo had 3 touches of the ball, and then you see typical Barisic turning his back. A normal Scotsman would be diving in there to put their body in front of it. And
a good defender.
A good defender, but you know, a normal Scotsman who would love the jersey.
I think somebody needs
in front of that.
I think somebody needs to go right through at Kyogo in the first few minutes. I mean,
it's hard now, isn't it? It's a red card.
See, to be fair,
sorry, Derek, I thought, I thought Raskin done well. I thought Suter, for being out for a long time, done well until the pass back. I thought Griggsy could maybe have went with his feet to maybe stop Jota going on him. But I thought Raskin was very good. Tillman, Kent, Cantwell, I thought they were missing. Tav didn't get forward as much, but scores 2 great goals. Maeda kind of stopped Tav getting forward, but his Tav's free kicks, unbelievable. It was a great penalty.
Sorry, I've just seen Ernie Boyle just says we need a defender with a head like Ricki.
That's a good point, isn't it? Just go and kick it away.
Imagine having a goalie with a head that size.
By the way,
lucky I don't get easily offended.
See, we're talking Oosty as well. See the first goal, it's crucial. And we were denied that
100%.
goal. You know what I mean? And I think everybody, apart from the ref, and also
VAR
their pals up in
it didn't even go to VAR, but
it did.
But
he didn't
God,
go
I must
look.
have too much to drink then.
And
I don't think he did.
It's the worst decision I've seen for a long time.
But see, in most games, but especially an Old Firm game, the first goal, and especially you're away from him, you don't get any supporters. That is massive. So it is. And I think even you were saying it, Husty, they've been put on this kind of pedestal that they're unbeatable. You know, you take it right. So we were denied a goal. We've gave them 2 goals as well.
I think see the first one, he's not touch tight. He's gave their best
That's
player
how he has to go
3-4 yards.
That's what I'm saying.
You know what
Davies goes in that space instead of going to get Kyogo.
But if he goes blindside to Davies can't watch him in the ball. But if he does that, and you can feel him, he knows roughly where he is. I think it's definitely 2, but possibly 3.
I know, and I think see Kyogo, his movement is brilliant. So as sometimes you're needing, as the boys will get attracted to the ball, and you know, and it's sometimes you're trying to get on the half turn, see where your man is. Sometimes I look at the midfielders as well. Can you get in there? Can you affect that? Can you read where the ball's getting in there? Can you help him out? Because he's so sharp. It's only 2 or 3 yards of movement. So, quite rightly, we're going to look at defending. It should be better, but sometimes you're looking for a wee helping hand. But the goals, see if we get our noses in front, and then you take away the horrendous mistakes. That's how I'm looking forward to the semi-final. That's how you've got semi-final. Because it is one to look forward to, no to fear, you know, and I think we'll be better again. But if we cut out the mistakes and we get, I was going to say a wee bit of luck, you know, and if we get the right decisions, you know,
that one decision changes the whole game. I know. It changes the whole course of the game. If we go 1-0 up, then they're even more open. But see, I don't understand how we don't go down the left side on, see Taylor and Starfield. Starfield must be the worst footer player I've ever seen. Honestly. It's terrible.
Craig, what's your thoughts? Because obviously Suter made one of the mistakes for one of the goals, but I actually thought he played all right.
Well, I was thinking sort of halfway through the second half, just before that, if Goldson comes back, who would you put out the team? Mm-hmm. And I was thinking up to that point that Suter looked comfortable, he looked well, and then, you know, when was the last time he played 90 minutes of football? He's not going to have the concentration or the game fitness. And he made it's a terrible. I don't think he gets a great ball played into him to start with, but he still could have dealt with it a lot better. And he's made an absolute bloomer. It's cost a goal, but up until that point, I thought he looked all right. I mean, he's not going to be box to box. He's not going to be making daft runs through the middle. He's there to be a centre half, and I felt he was doing that okay.
I thought he did very well, apart from the mistake as you says. But the thing is, I'd probably play Davies left back in the semi-final, Suter and Goldson if Goldson's fit.
Mm-hmm. He's a good player, Big Suter. We know that. Remember the game I was cracking up at? You know, in the final. He was brilliant against
Aye.
us, wasn't he?
He was
Suter.
cup for
It's
against
just about his fitness, but it's not just the physical side that Hoosty's touching on. Sometimes when you've not played for a long time at that level, and just that mentally you just get a wee bit, you get a wee bit tired, and that's in slack. A wee bit of slackness creeps into your play. And that's what it looks
see,
like
watching him on Saturday, he looked a lot more confident against St Mirren. He was actually taking on a couple of players as well, which we seen him do at the final last year as well. He was confident to take on this. Sometimes he looks like he's ran too far after he's beat like the third man, and then he doesn't know what to do with it. But I think at least he's got the confidence to actually do that run.
He's actually decent in the ball, a big man. He can play. It's just trying to get him on the bloody pitch. That's the thing. But as I say, I'd probably go. I know Barisic is great at delivery and things like that, but I think we shore it up a wee bit, and then hopefully Kent turns up.
Do you say Davis at left back? Big shout.
Just because Davis defensively is more solid. I don't think I'm not sure if he's a great defender because he's actually decent in the ball. And I think he gets caught out at times because the one Kyogo scored and it was offside. Davies is in no man's land, and Suter was in a bit of no man's land, but had his hand up for offside.
I think he's a nice player, but we don't need nice players. We need guys that are going to defend for their life. Davis for me is still the jury's still out a wee bit. For me, definitely. Barisic, you know my feelings on Barisic. You know Barisic is a terrific player going forward, but defensively he's found wanting at times, and that's how when you look ahead to the recruitment side of who we're going to bring in, obviously in the summer. That's an area we need to really strengthen.
See, honest, I would if Hollander was fit and they had to Hollander all day long before Davies.
He's off though. I mean,
I know he's away. I know that, but
it's weird, isn't it?
No, he's obviously.
I think he's a better defender than some of the ones.
He's definitely a better defender. I'd have Hollander in there before Davies all day long, but he's obviously no fit.
So, see, I mean, after that result, I still actually feel quite confident that we can beat them in the semi-final.
But again, is that wee edge? Again, is that wee feeling that we're going to beat them? We're getting there. We're close, and then boom.
There's two bad mistakes, and VAR, the referee was shocking because there was actually another penalty decision was on the second half against Morelos.
There's two. Morelos was getting his jersey pulled at the same time. I think it was Jack. The boy had his two arms around him. The exact same corner came over, and none of them get picked up. Another day, another panel. You're getting probably any of the two of them's a penalty.
See, to be fair, I think
that's why we've got VAR. Supposedly,
in any books, I would give. See if a defender's pulling me, pulling a player, and I'm a referee. I would give a penalty against them. Then on the day anyway. Just go out, bang, first one, penalty, there you go. Yeah. And then, because if you're doing that to somebody in the middle of the pitch, it's a free kick. So how's it not a free kick?
But there's always been in there like different rules in the box. You know, even sometimes when you're kind of ushering a ball out of play.
That's the worst one. See as a midfielder and a striker, and the ball's there, and you're trying to run around this guy to get the ball. You're like, get out of the way, you're trying to get the ball. You're having to run
an unwritten rule.
Run around the full pitch to try and get the ball.
Right, so obviously we're talking a wee bit about recruitment there. So Ross Wilson has now left the club. Obviously, I think the fans have kind of helped that happen. But what happens now? You know, because obviously you would have think he would have been involved in who we were going to be bringing in the summer, or do you think now we're going to get?
Do you know?
It's actually Bill.
Do you know? Do you know get that feeling you kind of when sometimes he gives a wee bit too much? I think Bill, but he's been quite
cautious.
No, he's no in terms of I think he knows he's identified
who
he wants to bring in. And did they not say that? And last week he says, I know I can handle that side of it. I'm pretty confident I can deal with that. I mean, the recruitment as well. I mean, we wish Wilson all the best, you know, he's came, but you're always going to be judged. He was always going to be judged by who was bringing in, and you're judged against Celtic. And you look at their recruitment; it's been better than us. Simple as.
That's the thing as well. Bill said he can handle that now because
it's not say they're not going to bring somebody in, Charlie. But
100%. I don't think we need another one. But obviously, in this day and age,
see when you look at the size of the scouting network and the analytical stuff that's going on at Rangers, and see for the manager to oversee all that, I think it's
difficult, 100%. But I still think the manager has to go. I am not. If I don't like him, I want somebody else. Might be dearer, but right, okay, you have to pull maybe money for somewhere else. You can't get every player, and that's understandable. But I'm so glad Wilson's away, and it'll give Bill the chance, because Bill's starting to feel a bit of pressure now. It must be because you can't keep on getting beat after them.
It's crazy, but when you look at his record, doesn't it?
I know, but you can't finish second.
I know. That's how mad it is. How many games has the boy lost? 1?
2.
Well, 1 in the league.
That's not good enough.
Do you know what I'm saying? And folk are going, see the right guy for next season. It's crazy, isn't it? How but it's Rangers.
But you take confidence with his two signings, Cantwell and
100%.
Raskin. You know, so he knows. That's how I quite like. He says, "I've already identified who I want to bring into the
See
club."
when the fans were having a bit of a go at Wilson, he got flung in front of the camera after one of the games, and they were asking him, you know, what does he think about it? And he was defending the guy, which he's going to do. He's working with the guy. He can't turn around and tell the fans that they're right.
Yeah.
And what he was saying then, which was probably 2-3 weeks ago, was before the international break, so it must have been. He said, look, we've already identified most of the players we want. So, you know, if you're saying, oh, he's away now, what happens in the summer? I think if they're true to their word, the most of the work's done for the summer. The scouts have been looking at them all year. And you guys have been transferred and you know how it works. So you don't start it in May. Do you know what I mean? They'll know the guys that they want to bring in. They'll have already spoke to them, their agents and probably their clubs. So
I think we obviously have to free
I'm
some.
laughing you say transferred. It just takes me back to my time with Souness. Aye, when I get sold to Hearts. Aye,
did they tell you? Did they bother telling you?
I get told where I was going to be playing my football next season. Aye, because I was gutted with that. But
how much did you go to Hearts again for?
$750,000.
How many games did you play for them?
For Hearts? God, I don't know. I don't even know.
Quite a lot though.
Aye, well, there 3 years.
See, it's mad because as a fan, remember you in your jersey all the time and go, and then you played for Hearts. You forget the probably amount. Like, say like Cooper with Motherwell, you forget he was in cup finals and stuff.
Coop's an absolute hero with Motherwell as well.
And the one that gets me is Durant played more games for Rangers after his injury than he did before it, and he get more international caps for Kilmarnock than he did for Rangers.
And then at Kelly, he was and brilliant the way Durant changed his game. You know, he was at box to box, but because of the injury, he became the playmaker.
But even still, after his injury, his first cut year after his injury, he was still the box to box.
Aye, but today that was to change completely. You know, the way he played his role. That's just testament how good a player he was. The wee fella, wasn't he?
But I'm glad.
Still giving you a custard pie, aye.
I don't even text him anymore.
Custard pie, aye.
Has he not text you either?
No, text me back.
Did she not get back to you?
What date yet? I'm saying I've sent him dates. He's a lot of it.
Do you know it changed? See when he left Rangers, I had his Rangers number. And you know the way you text them, it takes you 3 months to maybe get an answer.
Right.
I'd been texting this number for a year after it wasn't his anymore. And it was a wee lassie in the marketing department. And eventually, because I was like, and then I'd bump into the pub and you'd do whatever I was looking for. So about a year it went on. And that's what wee lassie eventually went, Craig, I've got Durante's phone.
Can I honestly, he doesn't give me a custard pie.
We're going to text him and say about the gig on Friday the 2nd of June.
I think you'd batter him.
No, honestly, he gets back to me. Genuinely.
We should phone him live. We should phone him live one time and see if he answers.
Phone him now.
Right. He watches us, by the way. So.
Is he not training with nights?
How do you watch us? Is he Wi-Fi up there?
All right, he's shooting the sticks, isn't he?
Look,
he's up a mountain.
Look, Charlie's trying to phone him.
And it is, where is that? Well, we can't give you where he stays, but it is shooting the sticks.
You phone him now, right? You'd feel terrible if he answered that.
There you go. It's Abdul.
Oh, well. I will need to try you phone him next week then. Right.
I really, honestly, phone him now. I'd be a mad one if he picked it up.
That'd be great.
Right, do you know what we're going to do? We're going to go and look at some of the social media comments coming on. So here's Mitchus Gracias says, the league's gone. Should Beale blood some younger players, give Yilmaz a run at games too? Look forward to next season, and those not involved for next season should be left out. Do you think, Charlie?
There's Durante there. He's phoning me back.
What?
See?
Durante.
He knows. He is watching. Are you watching us?
Watching what?
Aye, good one.
Derek and Husty and Ricki. Potato Heat are doing the podcast. And they said me to phone you because you keep on giving me a custard pie.
Ask him for 2nd of June.
2nd of June, are you going to do that with me and Derek? That gig. I'll text you afterwards.
Right.
Aye, see.
You know it. You know it's...
Me, you and Derek doing a question answer.
Oh my God.
One legends.
You better let him know he's live.
Aye.
I don't know how many can't be playing. Doing it's not the same place, is it?
I don't know. Hey, I'll phone you afterwards after this then, right?
It's talk, I'll see you on Friday.
Right, Jasper. I will do. See you
no
Friday,
problem.
mate.
All right.
See you later.
Again tonight.
Huh?
What show you doing tonight?
You know which show
The
you
best
love.
show in the land.
The Ricki Neill show.
Ah, you shut up.
Aye.
Big house to say you're a wee daddy.
Engineers that some thoughts on you.
Nah, nobody. Ricky's getting me. His house is pegged off.
He's a fucking arsehole.
Like, man.
He knows you well, Ricky.
He does, doesn't he? Anyway, wasn't expecting that. That's good, isn't it?
There you go.
Yeah, that's
Buy
it.
it to you.
That
Look at him
You
kidding on.
text-
He didn't
you
know
text him?
what gig it was.
I know.
Did you text him, man?
No, I'm sure he's watched it.
Aye, definitely. Right, so what do you think, Mitch? Is Gracias League gone? Should we try the younger players? You think so, Charlie, don't you?
Well, I think you get rid of if Morelos, Kent, Kamara, Matondo. That's just a few to name a few. Get rid of them now. I don't think they're about to be here if no signs yet. So I start playing the ones that I think I'm going to play for next season.
Aye.
I don't know if I'd give Jack another year, and I like Jack, but if I've got Lundstrom for another year, I don't see the point in having Lundstrom, Jack, and
Bill's already said he would like to keep Jack.
I like Jack,
did.
I do, but money-wise, we need to strengthen in other areas. We don't need Lundstrom, Jack, and Raskin.
You
Derek?
don't just throw them in. They've got to earn that, you know, and that's if he thinks they're good enough to be a Rangers first team player, then for the next number of weeks before the end of the season, if you think that they're going to be able to, you know, handle it, let's see it, you know, and throw. I'm not saying throw them in, but put one or two in, but only if you think, you know, it's no point in just saying, we'll give 5 or 6 of them a game and all that. And no, you've got to earn your stripes. So you have. So as long as, and if he feels that they can handle that, you know, aye. But who is there? Who is there? We'll talk about Alec Lowry. Where's he? What's happened to him?
He was even
Ah,
on
his
the
mum
bench.
passed away.
His mum
Nice.
passed away as well.
Nice.
didn't she?
You know, we can see that he's a talented boy. I want to see him more in that first team. Very like Cantwell, isn't he? The way or is he? The kind of way he
Similar,
plays.
very
Similar.
similar.
I think you've got to remember we've got a semi-final and potentially a final to
You've
play as
got
well.
to
So
keep them sharp
you know,
for it,
and I don't know what you obviously played for the Rangers. Are you better keeping your starting 11 every game if you can?
Up into this eye.
Up
Well,
to
to
the
keep it
semi.
fit, you're probably 100%, aye. But I get the idea that Morelos and Kent haven't signed yet, and that's disappointing. I see Willie Henderson. He's put on Matondo. I don't see enough of Matondo. I've not seen enough of him, but I would probably give Matondo a chance before Kent because Kent's no signed. Matondo's got another 3 or 4 year left maybe as well. Give him a chance to give him a run.
We don't know who's been offered contracts and who's
Oh,
not, but I think it looks like Kent and Morelos are both out. So if you're out the cup, you're out the league. I would never play them again.
Mhm.
I see no point in building game time into players that are not going to play for you next season. But that's not the situation we're in.
Aye,
You know,
because
the
of the
situation is
semi,
we've got the
who's the-
semi and potentially a final.
Do
as well.
you think it's time for Morelos to go?
I think when we got offered 20 million was the time for Morelos to go.
Because it was a time for Bassett to go, wasn't it? They've taken that quick enough.
We did.
See the other thing as well. We've got another. I know we're looking ahead to the semi, but we've got Aberdeen up at Pittodrie, which, as we know, you know, is always a kind of feisty fixture, and it's one that we want to win. So I'm a wee bit like Hustie's saying there. Until such times as we get to the fight, aye, and kind of. But of, you know, these guys that have no put pen to paper. You know, you've got, and there's Charlie making the point, aye, guys that are in contract, give them their game time.
Right. Very last minute special guest, Craig Houston. You started the Sons
Special.
Special. Can you start the Sons of Struth? When was that in the academy?
Well, the football team.
The football team, aye.
2015, the end of it, around about November.
Tell us a wee bit about it, because originally it was only
I
one
started mine
team.
November as well, 2011.
Get you. Better won more cups than him already, but in 7 years.
Loft.
He's brilliant, by the way. He turns up right friendly. 2014's Craig. He'll turn up start after 2014's. So if you score a couple of goals, you end up with boys with beards and all that. That are training up in the corner.
Just because we battle them all the time.
I'll tell you what, I'll video cam the next game, play Charlie's, right? You can show that.
Show it.
100%.
Aye, that sounds good.
2011's no problem.
Against
that's the only ones we've played
your
against.
2010s.
I've not got 10s.
It's because we've got all the good players at that age.
But how's it going anyway? Because you're taking them to Madrid, didn't you? So,
Aye, we're going to Madrid. They're taking the 3 oldest teams out to Madrid in the end of September for 4 days, and They'll train at the academy, get a game against some local opposition. Don't know the fixtures, so we don't know if there's a game when we're there at the time.
What age group are you on, Husty?
2008s and the 2010 teams.
How's it?
How'd you fancy a game? Bring,
what?
bring your fake ID, I'll give you a game. Go to Madrid. You get a PVG.
I've got a PVG, yeah. To be fair.
So we're taking them out.
Still
and
want to
then
get a game.
we're just waiting to organise in the October for the younger age groups a trip to Madrid. To Barcelona. There's a Catalan training base. It's just no long built, and they'll go out there, do the same 3 or 4 days, and go to Barcelona, and then they'll go to a day at the Portaventura, just up at Salou. So we're just getting the details. It's the same company that I organised the trip when we went in September 21 to Benfica. We chartered a plane and took 190 people out for a day trip. It was absolutely nuts. It was 6 months of my life organising it.
Mm-hmm.
And so this time we've got Inspire, who they sponsor the Scottish Cup, the Kids Scottish Cup.
Jed?
Jed, you know Jed?
I know Jed.
So he's organising it all, so a lot less stress, and hopefully in the next couple of weeks we've got the younger ones all booked to go to the Barcelona thing in the October.
It's good, isn't it? It's amazing.
You're away to Blackpool on the 28th of July, 28th of April.
That's good down there for the tournament spot, isn't it?
It's good. People were supposed to go to Holland last year,
Mhm.
and they get cancelled because of COVID, obviously.
So, but that was why we ended up. We the year at COVID hit in 2020, we were due to take all the younger ones down to England, and it was all paid for. And then obviously we didn't get to go. Nobody went anywhere. So by the time we came out of COVID, we went 2 years without a single trip. And I thought, you know what, we've got a right few quid there. Let's do something crazy. And that's when we rented that.
How do you do your fundraising? Who deals with that each age group?
I try and raise, obviously, we're all volunteers. So it's say a coach, you want to go to Real Madrid, and it'll cost you 600-700 quid's a bit tough.
That's
so I
hard.
try to, fit the bill. We've never had a coach having to pay for a trip. And then each age group, and then within that, each kid within the age group, if somebody goes out and raises 300-400 quid, we don't put that in the pot. We put that in your kid. That kid. So, John Stevenson, he's the treasurer. He gets spreadsheets out. He's not for 200 or 300 kids going in these trips.
Some pressure as well, because our club secretary Roddy's the same.
See, I hope he's not listening, because I'm going to blow his trumpet. See, if it wasn't for him and for your Audrey, you just couldn't run your teams. You couldn't run your teams.
Do you suffer for the same problem as Charlie with the pitch? No, I mean,
I don't have any of his problems.
No, me and Charlie were talking the other week about how the council and all that have raised the prices of the pitches.
Keep going.
But I mean, how
mine's have always been at price.
I thought, but if they don't put them up,
but the ones that they play on, they've just went up to a price, I think.
Right?
I'm not so much you, because you've always been Glasgow, so it's the South Lanarkshire one.
And Inverclyde used to be almost free, and then about 5 years ago they started putting them up. See, kids fit. I was talking to Chris Jack, for the Herald, a couple of weeks ago.
Chris Union Jack.
Chris Union Jack. He was looking for something to write in International Week, so he took me for my lunch, and we were talking about, you need to charge your kids, I need to charge my kids, and we probably need to put our fees up a wee bit in the next couple of months. And it breaks your heart, even putting up a $5. But the reality is, I think kids' football is becoming a middle-class sport.
No, it's become that.
And my fear is, see your Willie Hendersons, your Jimmy Johnsons, and all these people, they're probably still out there. But if we don't get them all playing football, we're going to miss. If you don't put them all into the sieve, you're not going to get it.
I agree with you absolutely, because even in the other academies, you see them. It's like some parents haven't got a car. They can't get to certain places. They can't afford the taxis, the buses, and all that. It's absolutely crazy. But it's not just about football, Husty. You're talking about it's everything else that goes with that. The discipline that you'll give them. Right. You're taking them off the streets where they might be up to, they might kind of get up to no good, but so that other side as well, it should be free parts. Why charge?
No, but that's
when
obviously Glasgow Council have been charging for years. But the thing for me that annoys me is obviously the payments it's hard for the payments, but the idea that a young boy can't play on a Saturday and a Sunday at 11 asides, that absolutely kills me. I just don't understand that. So if you're playing 11 asides, you can't play for a Saturday team and a Sunday team, which bewilders me. I think the reason is because in case they get you on the Scottish Cup, which is just stupid. It is madness. I don't understand it. And then you're stopping kids for training maybe 4 times a week and playing 2 games and bring it down to 2 games, 2 training sessions in 1 game. The more they play, the better they become. And plus, when they become 14, 15 and they're playing a Saturday and a Sunday, a lot of them, maybe 80% of them might go, I've got a game, I'm not going out. bevving with their pals and whatever.
That's right.
You know what I
We-
mean?
The health benefits,
Aye.
innit?
So,
Again, if they're training a couple of times a week.
See what you're saying about the discipline and stuff.
Aye.
I see last Friday, I was taking a session and one of the dads said to the boy had got a bit of bother at school. He was dogging
Mhm.
school and stuff.
Right.
Do you want me to work with him? I don't mind being bad
Mhm.
cop.
Yeah.
Oh, here, me man, come here. Come on, your dad says you've been plonking to school. His face went bright red.
Mm.
I said, so here's the deal. See, the next time you plonk to school, don't bother coming to training for a week. And see if you're not training for a week, don't even think
play.
about getting picked on a Saturday.
Yeah.
And the wee boy's face is dropped. Now, see that
Aye.
one sentence that took me
Correct.
30 seconds. If that keeps that kid at school, you don't know what knock-on
Brilliant.
effects that can have in
Mhm.
the future.
Mhm.
You know, and there's all that. And some of this, Charlie will tell you the amount of kids he's got and we've got, and you don't know what goes on behind closed doors. And sometimes you start hearing some of these kids' stories and you think, how does that when you get out of his bed in the morning?
Mhm.
Some
Well,
of the ways
I'm
that you're
as-
affecting kids in a positive. And all clubs.
And that's how you stay an absolute brilliant job.
Well, I'm doing the
innit?
schools now as well. I'm in the schools
Aye.
with the boxing and the football. I've got a sponsor.
You pattern wins.
Huh?
You punching wins.
They're punching me. But we're doing schools, Cranhull and Sandegg and Ballam, I think it is. And we're doing Tuesday, Wednesday, full day, like their PE.
Brilliant.
They don't pay a hang. We give them food for their after school as well. We pay for food and that. So that's through Boxwise in London. And it's amazing. They pay for everything. For the football coaching and the boxing coaching. Provide all the gloves and everything.
Brilliant.
It's amazing.
So it sounds like it's gone really good then. Anyway, aye.
Aye, and we're in a semi-final against his, as you say, your
My
nephew.
nephews,
My nephews,
my
aye.
nephew.
When's that? This
Josh.
There's no the big number 7 that we're going to need to mark out again, is it? That's not him, is it?
5 of them now.
Boy's as big as me. I went to see him in the last round. I thought, Christ, I'll have trouble marking that boy. A good game.
Right, I'll go back onto social again, and then we'll get back onto the St Mirren game. Willie Henderson, he's saying, because I was going to ask you who was.
That's what I said about Baton. That's why I mentioned.
No, but he's talking about. Oh no, sorry, I clicked on the wrong one there. Where is it?
What size is my beak?
I know he's talking about what we need more than anything else is an out-and-out striker. Morelos will be gone, and Cholak isn't doing it to winning games. We need a top striker. So I was going to ask you, who do you think we need apart from a striker? Well, I think we need a striker.
Definitely need a striker.
Aye.
And obviously, Willie said that I'm wrong about Matondo. I think if Matondo's got 3 years left and you can't get rid of him, you have to give him a chance. There's got to be some way you can get in the team. But if he's not good enough, then you have to get rid of him. So I don't know how much Willie's seen him. I've not seen as much as Willie probably, unless he's been watching him. But if he's not playing and he's
Willie watching?
Shock you saying that. But if he's not even in the squad, then he can't be. It's just obviously Bill doesn't fancy him, so you have to try and get rid of him. It's as simple as that.
Anyway, right, I was going to.
What's up with Colac? I mean, see Colac.
Sounds like it.
Aye, he was on the bench Saturday. But see when he started, the first 2 or 3 games that he played, he scored something like 4, he got 1 chopped off in a friendly. And I watched this boy, you draw a line between the 2 goals, that's
where
his
he went,
area.
yeah.
And see every time the ball came out for the wide, he had 1 touch,
Yeah.
it was a shot.
Mhm.
And I thought, this boy could bang 20 plus in and
Well,
getting the right supply.
I've been
And
crying
then-
out for him to play Morelos and
Aye, up
Colac.
top.
Up
Because
top.
Morelos is, when
Nah,
Gerrard came, he
100%.
had him dropping deep and he's not got that out his game now, he's still doing that. But I just saw Colac in that middle, just
Yep.
in between the sticks,
Mhm.
and the amount of goals that he would get,
Well,
1 touch
but
whether
you've
it's
seen
a
him.
header or 1 touch in near the
I've seen it
post.
lately, but he's been quite invisible in the games. But I think he does needs to play with somebody else. I think he
Mhm.
needs to play with.
But is he a bad player?
No, he's not a bad
No, he's a
player.
good
He scores goals and
Penalty box player. as well.
that's what it is. Aye. He's like obviously he does need to play with another striker. I think.
There's Curry Muncher says Matondo did decent in St Mirren game, and
That guy
he
got a season
and he got the
ticket, by the way.
assist.
Every time I watch your programme, he's on it.
No, do you know he's actually
Great
given,
night, innit?
normally just rips the total mince at me, but he gave me a wee compliment. earlier
Vince
on.
Curry.
He says, "Huge grats, Ricky, on your new adventure, mate. Need tabs for Fergus." So I don't know if you'll let you know, but I've now co-owner Lounge 72. So
That's where all the money's going.
He's brave,
Charlie.
isn't he?
wonder.
You're
Aye.
brave. We reach you.
I, me, Leachy, and John Park, and
But he's
Colin
called
Park.
Leachy Potato.
no, Jamie Park. I called him John Park there. Jamie Park, Leachy, and myself.
I
So,
would wish you well.
aye, so we're going to have a good few parties. Do you know, it's quite funny. One of my first things I had to do was to try and get a band or something in for next Saturday before the
Flip band.
The Wranglins come in.
before the semi-finals, right? no, I can't get hold of the Wranglins. But somebody said, "Can you get the Prod Claimers?" Right? So I put it out on Twitter. Does anybody know the contact details for the Prod Claimers? Right? Without a word to a lie, somebody emailed me and gave me the Proclaimers management team's email address. Then he realised what it was and he said, "Oh, sorry, big man, I thought you were wanting the Proclaimers." So I nearly had the Proclaimers in Lounge 72 next week, but we've got the Prod Claimers in.
For free Madry as well. That's all we're getting.
Free Madry, aye. So big party next Saturday. And it's a kind of launch. Plus, we've got the Flower of Scotland guy coming over as well. A lot of people couldn't go out to see him to celebrate 20th anniversary, so
I'm
we're going to have
Blackpool that weekend.
a bit of a party. Are you?
It's
Is that the tournament?
isn't it? Weekend of the 27th.
Aye.
We're in Blackpool. We go down there. We go down the 28th, sorry, 28th, 29th fair. If it's a weekend of the semi-final,
Aye, it is. Aye, because I'm out on the Friday night as well.
because we're in Blackpool.
Good. Right, St Mirren game. What was your thoughts on that, Derek?
Well, I didn't see. I've just got the highlights. You look at the scoreline, looks as if it's comfortable, but again, a bit shaky defensively.
Aye.
I mean, the boy has scored 2 great goals, but certainly the second one, we've got to be better defensively. You know, that's poor. So as, but the goals, obviously, Cantwell man of the match. Some good goals. I love the fifth one. Obviously, Cantwell just that wee change of pace away for 2 or 3 of them. But then, and he's one of my favourites, Arfield. I love him. I love just everything about him. His attitude. He's not one of them that spits a dummy, but that player that goes beyond. It's a great
It does make you
finish.
wonder how he's never coming on. See, like the game.
It's a
the other
great
week.
finish, Charlie, isn't it?
It's a great but how he's not coming on in the last 15-20 minutes of that game.
Yeah, he's always got a goal in him, hasn't he?
You always
Aye.
think he's got a chance. He always gets into the areas where it's like an Aberdeen game where he comes on and scores. It's like the cup semi-final last year where he scores. He's always got a chance. As Derek says, he goes beyond, and as I say all the time, the game of football nowadays lacks that big time.
Do you know, but see talking about the pass through for
Pass
Cantwell,
through,
by the way,
maybe
did you see?
aye,
He looks
the
the other way and then just does
It's
a
a wee
nice
bit
pass,
arrogance,
you
but I
know?
like that. I like
Aye.
that in players as well. You know, he's a confident boy. He's going out in his locker.
It was a very strange game, but wasn't it, Craig? Saturday.
I had a very strange Saturday, mate. Asking the wrong one. I was
It's a different story.
I was at the under 13s game at Benburb at 9 o'clock. I was feeling
Very
tired. I
strange
was done in.
I'm getting
I
worried
had
now.
quite a long Friday night and I didn't have much sleep. So I went up the road and I thought I'll go to my bed for 10 minutes. I woke up at 23. And one of them was half asleep. And I was getting loads of messages on my phone and I'm trying to watch a game and I'm going, we're running amok here. And then I'm like, hold on a minute, this is close. Do you know what I mean? It was just a bit of a bizarre game. It finished 5-2, but for 3 quarters, we're thinking, is this one going to go a bit pear-shaped?
Away.
But that boy's first goal, I thought was just ridiculous.
They've got back. They're a better side than you think as well. You know, I'm not looking to make excuses, but they're a very fit side, very well organised. So you need to have that bit of flair about you to break them down.
I was to see after your game on Saturday. I was going to go up the road and get a shell and go to the game. And by pure luck, we got a wee kid comes down from Campbelltown to play for us. And I was like, he's going up the road. I went, no, we're going to do a bit of shopping and stuff. I says, here, 2 tickets to you into the game. And I'm glad I did now.
Oh, happy days.
At 9 o'clock in the morning, that was my plan, go to your game, up the road, and then go to Ibrox. And thank God I'd get the tickets away. I'd have been even more raging. So hopefully the wee man...
Probably did a great day the weekend.
I hope we did. Well, he puts a commitment in for our club. So
At least we got the result eventually, but it was just a pure strange game, wasn't it?
Weird.
But we got the result at the end. But this is a game on Sunday as well that I hate. Aberdeen, 4:30. It's a horrible time for a kick-off, I know, isn't it? All the way up there. Charlie, what's your thoughts on this game?
We have to beat them. I always want to beat them. I don't like Aberdeen particularly.
They don't like us.
They don't like
I
us.
assure
We
you.
don't like game. And it's not that I don't like them because they've never been any good apart from the mid-80s, but I just don't like them as a club and they don't like us. So we've just got them, beat them and come home and then get ready for the cup semi-final.
They're better now defensively, obviously. In January, they brought in the 2 centre-backs. They've got a wee bit about them, Miłoski and Duke up top. You know, they've been banging them, the goals in. So we'll need to be at it. And we know that atmosphere up there. It's a horrible atmosphere, basically.
Yeah.
I mean, I've said
You've
to
spoken
you-
about it a few times.
I said to you when I've been to, when obviously Rangers came calling. I'm talking about Lewis here when he was playing. When Rangers came calling, the atmosphere, it was vile. It was horrible, by the way. But it wasn't like that with other teams, the Hearts, the Hibs, and that. I didn't see that. So they've got a big disliking for us. But I like, there was a wee comment I saw for Raskin today. He enjoys that atmosphere, that they hate us. I love that. That's what I love about Raskin. Not that he's a good football player, but he's got that mentality. You know, he actually got up there. He's looking forward to if it's going to be a dogfight as well. So we've got to be up for this big time. And just because of the semi-final a week later, you know, we need to go into that semi-final with a lot of confidence, a feel-good factor. So it's an important game. It doesn't matter what time it is.
Right, we're going to do predictions. Craig, I'll let you go first.
About what?
Sunday.
Oh, Sunday. Aberdeen 2-0 with Bells.
I think it'll be 2-1. There you go, 2-1. We've got to be aware of them. They're decent from middle to front, and they've shored up a wee bit at the back. But we've got enough about us to win that game.
Charlie?
4-1.
Oof.
You're mad on me.
4-1. I think we'll get them a doing. Because they were rubbish before Oleg Taylor. So they can't improve that much.
No, that's
They've had their wee new manager coming in and doing well. So let's just go.
Why does that work?
well. It doesn't
Because
look
it
at
keeps-
Naismith.
Well, that's right.
I mean, they were torrid. So they were against.
See, when you went through that as professionals, what actually happens? Does everybody, is it just to try and impress a new gaffer and try
Aye.
to get into a starting 11?
Aye.
If you've maybe been a fringe player or just trying to nod your jersey?
It's amazing.
isn't it?
It is. It's amazing, and it happens all the time. And that's what it is. It's like if the gaffer's no there at training, and if it's took with one of the coaches, this is what used to happen.
Rob.
If the manager walked in, you know, I used to think come out of the Albion. When we used to train at the Albion, the standard went up tenfold. By the way, everybody was at it, and that's just because of the presence of the gaffer. And that's what happens when a new gaffer comes in. They want to impress him, and then it tails off after a certain time. So hopefully you're right, Charlie.
We Alec Wake obviously get the sack a couple of weeks
Aye.
ago. Was doing it.
Did Alec get sacked for Red?
Reading.
Aye.
Did
Aye.
they?
Aye. I was doing it at Christmas, and they took us into training ground and that. There was a game against Swansea. Went to that, and then went into what a place, by the way. That showed up Okinawa. Aye, outstanding, brand new. But you know, I'm going. They've just dropped into the relegation zone. They've got 6 points taken off them. I think they were maxed out at £5,000 a week in wages, which doing at the championships nothing. And I'm looking at the table. Because the last time I looked at the table, they were about mid-table, but that was before they get their 6 points deducted.
But they were really close to. They were top of the league after about 12, 14 games.
Well, see, when I was down in
Same as
Christmas,
PPR.
they were like 4 points off the playoff positions. And then, obviously, they've lost a wee bit of form and they get these 6 points. So I think they drew 92nd minute goal or something, and they two get sacked. The 92nd minute goal. And I looked at the table and I went, they're 1 point under the relegation line. You're like, is that what the guy's doing? Just hoping for this bounce. They've got 5 games left. Get a new manager, gets a bounce. But I don't think he appointed a new manager. But that's why I was thinking about that recently.
I didn't realise Alec had been sacked.
That's a couple of weeks ago, isn't it? Anyway, I'm afraid that's the end of the podcast already. So what do you think of your first unexpected podcast?
I just came up here to deliver the pies.
But a great insight, that, wasn't it?
Aye.
You know, in the job that these guys do, it's phenomenal.
I know.
It is.
I definitely think somebody needs to do something about the funding for Scottish football
Oh,
because it's only going to deteriorate if we
shouldn't
can't.
it be?
Yep.
And whatever, you know, if you've got 10 times the amount of that country, you get 10 times the amount of money
And
they set aside for your football. So we get all these kids signed, we get them all put onto the register. That goes, UEFA then dish the money back to the SFA, and that goes to the pro teams.
It doesn't
We
come
get-
anywhere
We
near
get
us.
none of
Huh?
it. Aye.
And do you think that the pro team, something should be? See, if somebody like, when I was playing, they're saying we're going to take 1% of your wages and it's going to go to youth football.
Well, you know
You
what
take them
Hearts-
in it.
Oh,
No,
to
what
right,
Hearts
aye.
done, see what
Because
Hearts-
that's how, if we didn't have guys that were running football teams,
big-
that,
a big
we
mate's
wouldn't
a
have
big
this.
jambo. A big mate who coaches me. He said when Hearts sold Craig Gordon for 9 million Sunderland, the kid Tynecastle Boys Club 900 grand supposedly. I don't know if that's true, but that's what a big
Was it
mate
a
he knows.
corner that put
Aye, he
his
did.
signing fee when he went to Moscow
Aye,
to build the youth academy at Hibs? Is that right? I noticed
don't know.
yes, he
it
did.
makes sense what
Aye.
was because he went for quite decent
That's,
money.
that's
didn't
right, aye. I did that. and
he
it's-
was getting a kickback for the transfer fee as part of his contract,
Mhm.
obviously, and he still Hibs to keep it
Mhm.
and put that in the other academy. So, I mean,
You'd like to see more of that, wouldn't you?
listen, see the amount of people, ex-professionals that's helped us. Obviously, we're named Sons of Struth, that helps, but see the amount of pros that have come in and helped us. Charlie's helping us with advice and
Brilliant.
games, and Wee Durante's been in. The goalie was coaching our kids for the last 18 months of his life, and I can't actually start and watch him and think, you should be far higher.
Oh,
It was
I know.
brilliant. Brilliant. And I'm not just talking about putting the cones out. You know,
Aye. Yeah.
he would stop him and say, "Listen, son, see if you do this, that's what 500-600 games."
It's like
worth of
gold dust,
experience."
isn't it?
So there is a lot of ex-pro. I mean, Lawrence Shankland. I've known him through his cousins for years. He's come down a couple of times, and
I've the same. I've had a lot of the boys come down. Coyce, that's come down.
Yeah.
All the Durante, Big Marvin's up, comes down all the time.
It's great. So, you know, I don't think I've ever asked an ex-professional to come and need your number before you go. Come and do something for us at some point. And wee Willie Henderson, you took wee Willie to Benfica with us. I was feared. You fucking lose Willie Henderson. That's trapped. Nobody will ever talk to you again in your life. Wee Willie was class because he was pals with Eusebio.
Oh, right.
So I phoned him and I says, have you been out to the stadium since they put Eusebio's statue? And he said, I've not even been at the stadium since they built a new stadium, never mind the statue.
Wow.
I said, well, you're kidding. I took you Willie out. Brilliant.
That's amazing.
Right, I'm afraid that is us done for time, but thank you very much. I thought we were going to be able to announce one of our gigs, but he's not get back to me to confirm because we're heading down south. We know where it is, but I'm just waiting for the guy to say, right, we can go, right. But once again, thank you, Craig, Derek and Charlie. And thanks to our sponsors, especially our two new sponsors, Avia Signs and Park Construction and Plant Hire. Also thank you to Giant Sea Architectural, Plugged In Business Solutions, ISG Resin Flooring Specialist, DB Dental Care and Crown Embroidery. We'll see you all next week.
And I hate made a slash and a stain on my soul, and it chewed on my flesh and it sucked on my bones. With the drinking and the beating